Alright, we're live now. It is what it is. Sensei Martinos! Elsie. Ooh, don't do that. You break the mats. Oh, that's cheating. Good old. How are we all doing? Hey Jim, you right, Max? Sorry, I'm not going crazy. There is a small child. I mean, I'm going crazy, but different story. No, you can't play with that. I need that to make sure I don't run over. I don't remember agreeing to this. Jedi in training. Hi, Kaya. Good to see you. Kaya, how's that sword stuff coming along? Do you want any more help with it? It is loud.
Bye, family. Bye. Ow.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kill him? That's not very nice, Sensei Martin. Almost time. How is everybody? Are we all good, by the way? All good? Good lad. Good to see you again. This will be explained a little bit later. Hey John, you right, Dale? Caitlin? Fergus, nice one. Okay, so the topic for today is, I'm just going to point that up a bit. Shomen Iriminage. We've done a few videos in the online dojo now of Shomen Iriminage, so make sure you check those out for the details. Today we will be looking at, make sure I got it right, yeah, Yokomanuchi Shomen Iriminage. Hey, over here! Which is, I believe, the first version of Shomen Iriminage that you would come across on the adults curriculum, and also for the cadet Nidan curriculum, which is basically the same thing. Shomen Iriminage literally means front entering throw. Is it not quite literal, but front entering throw. And the emphasis on this is everything must be going forwards and centered on your line, which is why I've got two aims that I want to achieve with this class, ideally. The first one is for Stei, the second one is for Uke. For Stei, I want to help people eliminate the clotheslining effect. So for Shomen Iriminage, let's say I've got my glamorous assistant here, Sensei Bob. What I'm supposed to do is use my forearm against his chest and shoulder to, as you can see, twist him and then throw him. As we know, my arm is the strongest when it's ahead of me, and then the further out it goes, the weaker it is. Basically, once it's gone past my shoulder, it's out of my area of strength. You really got like an arc about this shape, and any wider, you've lost it. What I typically see, and I say typically, commonly see, again and again and again, especially if people start to get dynamic with this, even if they're doing self-defense, is this arm will be left behind, and they will be here. So their arm will be going out at 90 degrees, and then the only way they can throw their partner effectively from this position is to manipulate their head. And of course their partner will fall because, you know, nobody likes having their head ripped off. But it's cheating. Okay? So what we want to do is to train ourselves to keep the arm in front of us, not next to us. And when you haven't gone uke to practice with, like I do today, you have no excuse. If your arm is trailing to the side during today's practice, that is because you have not been paying attention. You have no other excuse. Keep it here as you throw. So that's the first mission. Stay to keep their arm in front and not to the side when doing the throw. Second mission, uke. Stop leaning forwards into the throw, okay? If I'm going to throw my partner and I don't yet know how to do it, probably how to make it work, and let's be honest, we're talking decades for that, I need him to facilitate my learning. He's got to enable me to practice the concepts, the shapes, the movements, the angles, everything. He's got to let me practice. The problem is, falling backwards is scary to a lot of people. Most people. And so instinctively, unless they are a very confident uke, when you start to push somebody back this way, I'm just going to get rid of that. When you start to push somebody back this way, they will lean forwards to fight the throw so that they can fall on their terms. Which makes sense, but it's really, really unhelpful. It's really unhelpful. It means that I cannot learn, and it will force me into this sideways position, which means I end up hurting my partner anyway, which means that they are right for distrusting me, which means they fight harder, which means I've got to do it even more wrong to make it work, and it becomes this negative spiral. Okay? So, honestly, if we're going to fix one thing first, I would always say fix uke. Fix uke first, then shite can fix themselves. If shite is doing the right thing, but uke is not, very often shite will just get fed up and revert back to the bad habit. Okay? But the primary focus is shite. Okay? So those are the two missions. For shite, to stop clotheslining their partner and to use their center line instead, and for uke, to not lean forwards and resist, but to yield and allow the throw to happen. Those are the two things that we're going to sort of refer back to as we're training. Okay. That was longer on the intro than I wanted, so we'll have a very, very quick warm-up, and then we'll get started with the actual training. So make sure you've got plenty of space. Bob, you can shield. Okay, so light jump. Get the stars going. Circle the arms. By the way, you might have already signed in, but just in case, could everybody sign in now, just to make sure that we know who's watching? If you're watching this back later, don't sign in the comments because we won't see it. Just shoot me a message on Facebook and then I can add you to the register. Or Sensei Joe or any of us, we can add you to the register. Reaching over. Stretch, stretch. Other side. Keep this arm above your ear. Don't do this. You're not stretching that way. Here. You'll feel it more. In your intercostals? I don't know. Twisting. And hips. Jim Bob. It's basically just to make sure that Sensei Joe sees who's watching so she can put you all on the register. And knees. And not so important, but yeah, the wrist's going a little bit. Okay, so Yo Komanuchi Shomen Iriminage. We're going to look at ich and ni and shite and uke for each one. We may end up shaving some time off, so if I start to move a bit fast for you, don't worry, just do what you can. As always, it's about doing something rather than nothing. So if you feel lost, welcome to Aikido, okay? All right, so Yo Komanuchi Shomen Iriminage ich shite. There's about 3 significant chunks to this movement. So from here, we would block the strike, blend and enter, and then step through for the throw. So 3 significant chunks. Okay, we're going to build each one up and add them all together, and you know, the okay. So copying along with me, the first thing is the block. So here, right kami, we're going to block with our left hand, and our right hand is going to strike in atemi at the same time. So they both raise up, and then they do their different jobs. Punch to their nose, block their arm. Copying along. Hi, Sensei. Raise up, block and strike. And again, kami, raise up, block and strike. Now we're going to add a small movement to that. Raise up, block, strike, and a small pivot to the blocking side. I'll show you the. So I've raised up, little pivot happens, and that's when the hands happen. So here, raise up, small pivot, block, and strike. Yeah, the whole team is watching, so if you've got questions about something, put it in the comments. I may not answer it, but Sensei Ken, Sensei Martin, Sensei Joe will all be able to help you out. Here, out, block. So that's the standard block for a Yo Komanuchi Ichi technique. Okay? Second chunk. We've done the block. We're going to get rid of the attacking arm. This is where my apparatus comes in slightly. So if I've blocked this, we then get it out the way. So here, your right arm would come underneath and move it out of the way like so. So there's kind of this sweeping motion. Okay? So from here with the block, and here with the strike, under, and sweep it out the way. Again, under, and sweep it out the way. So you're getting rid of that strike. It was coming towards your neck, you're sending it over the top and getting out the way so their energy carries on. At the same time, there's a bit of footwork going on. So as we sweep this out of the way, we take one cross step forwards. So sweep and forwards. And notice how my hand has now ended up in that position we talked about at the very beginning, right in front of me here. So again, here's the blocking position, cross underneath, sweep over and forwards. And if you're working with a partner, this would have put you into this position. So your forearm is against their chest and shoulder. So one more time, nice and gently. Here's the block, under, sweep over, cross step forwards, place the hand across the chest and shoulder. If you are working with a partner, by all means do this together, but if not, then just crack on doing it solo. Okay, so now we're going to bolt those two bits together, go a little bit faster. So each time I count, we're going to do the block, sweep and enter. That's all one part. Ready, go. Under, sweep, forwards, reset. Knee, under, sweep, forwards, reset. Sun, under, sweep, forwards, reset. She, under, and forwards, go. Under, sweep, forwards, here. Final chunk, so the third chunk for this is the step, so the second step and throw. So we're here, we have the arm across their chest, and if we're being picky, the other hand has gone behind to support the back of their collar. We take one final step through, and the hands go from high to low. Imagine that you're giving the world's biggest thumbs down, okay? So with me, left foot forwards, right hand high, step forwards, and drop the hand, okay? We're going slowly for now. Left foot, right hand, forwards and down. The thing that we were trying to fix, the clothesline effect, is caused when I move, but the arm doesn't. So get the muscle memory in now for this. When you move, your arm has to. It's also tracking forwards. So forwards, 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 and down. Here, so throw, hit the Zanshin posture, okay? Sensei Joe! So again, here, left foot forwards, right hand high, step through, and hit the Zanshin. So that's the third chunk. So we're going to pull that together. We're going to go again to the count. So on each count, you strike, blend and enter, and then step through and throw. All in one count. Blend, enter, through and throw, hit the Zanshin. Reset. Knee, blend over, forwards once, forwards twice, hold the Zanshin till I say, reset. Sun, over, forwards and down, hold, reset. She, blend it over, forwards one, forwards two, hold, reset, go, blend it over, forwards one, forwards two, hold, 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 hold. Horrible weather, isn't it? Reset. So that's Yokomanuchi Shomen Iriminage Ich, the base template. Now that forms the template for pretty much every Shomen Iriminage Ich that we have. There are a few weirdos that don't really fit, but even then, they're pretty much the same skeleton, okay? So now we're gonna have a look at knee. Knee's a little bit longer, hence there's a bit more detail, so just do your best to keep up. As every other knee technique, barring a couple of exceptions, we start in so opposite postures rather than the same postures. So if my partner has his right foot forwards, I will begin this technique with my left foot forwards, okay? So that's what we'll be doing. We are assuming the uke will be in right posture, so we will be doing these movements leading with our left leg, okay? Left leg leads. So the opening movement for this, for a yokomaruchi knee, is the standard block. Raise, parallel and forwards, block, atami, okay? So the hands do a similar thing. Block, strike. The body work is different because the direction of the motion is different. We are interrupting the power of their attack rather than accepting it. Okay? So from here, raise, forwards and out. I don't know if the camera shows that. Block and strike. Raise, forwards and out. Block and strike. Now this is one of the things that can catch people out. When they do this, let's just pretend you're my uke. So your head is where your head is right now. I'm not looking at you right now, even though you are what I'm punching. This is incorrect. We have to look at what we're striking. But my body is facing dead straight. So what I'm not doing is twisting myself to look at you because now I've lost my center line. So yes, I'm going to look at you because I'm punching you, but my body is going to face my leading arm here because this is what's receiving the power of that strike. Okay? So raise, off, look at what you're hitting, but don't twist your body to it. Stay facing forwards. And again, nice and slow, raise, out, good ki, scare the cat. Okay, so that's your block. Now we're going to have a look at the next stage, which is to pivot. We all know how to pivot, right? We do the same arm sweepy, okay? But we're going to do it with a turn at the same time rather than a step through. So we've done the block. So left foot forwards, hands high. Sweep the arm and pivot around. Okay, copy along with me. So from here, sweep the arms up and pivot around. And then this hand would take the back of their collar if we're being picky. So again here, there's your block, under, sweep, and around. Right, now we're going to pick up the pace because we are hugely running out of time. So to my count. Ouch! Block, under, sweep. And again. Knee, block, under, sweep. And again. San, block, under, sweep. Shi, go, block, under, and sweep. Was that 5? I think it was 5. So that's your opening sequence. Next stage is to add the shift. Again, we're going to cut some corners here. So we've spun around, and we now have them leaning forwards in front of us like this. So they are here, and we have their arm and neck. We then bring them around in a tight circle by shifting. So it's the classic knee combo of pivot and shift. So slowly with me, block, blend, shift. And again, block, blend, shift. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're all good with that, and we're going to finish this technique, okay? So from here, we whip them around, their energy is going forwards and down. We need to change their mind. A really good way of changing somebody's mind is hitting them, or pretending to. So my hand comes in, to strike towards their face, which will either hit them, or make them move backwards. They move up, as that punch was towards them, they're coming up. So we follow that, back across, forwards and throw. All right, Syrian. So copy along with me. Right foot forwards, strike. Continue the shift. Again, arm is in front of me, not off to the side. Step forwards and throw. Again, strike. Up, in front, not to the side, in front, not to the side, in front. Forwards and down. So that's your base template for stay, for ich and knee. Because of time constraints, we're going to have a very, very fast look at how to be uke in a dynamic setting, which should still prove the point, okay? So, Shomen Iriminage, ich and knee, also translates into those techniques for dynamic practice. So when we're doing things like Jiawaza, Shomen Iriminage is a beautiful technique, and it can be demonstrated as either an ich or a ni technique, depending on what you want to do with the spaces and how uke is approaching you. And this is what this rig is for. It's a little bit more abstract than Sensei Bob. Okay, can you all see? So if I were doing an ich technique, I would simply go right past it and throw. Which is simple, so we're not going to look how to do that for stay, but we are going to look how to do that for uke because I want you to be able to yield. So a big mistake is with the person attacking, when they punch, they're already committing their body weight over. This makes it really easy to do certain throws, but it completely rules out the other 50% of them. Anything where you want to send them backwards is now impossible because it just doesn't make sense. So the uke's job is to provide a completely blank canvas in terms of opportunity. They've got to be energetic, committed, intent. They've got to have substance. They've got, we don't want beige, okay? But we do need to make sure that our body is delivering the attack in such a way that I can be taken forwards or backwards, left, right. I can keep up, and I'm safe, and my partner can learn. Okay, so keep your body upright until the throw happens. So what we're going to do is this: on ich, prepare the strike. On ni, deliver the strike, stay upright. On san, yield backwards, and then either fall or just take a squat. Okay? So to my count. Ich, prepare the strike. Ni, deliver the strike. San, yield up, and then take the fall. It's not quite correct, but what I want you to get is delivering with a straight back. Okay? Ich, back. Ni, an, san, yield, and fall. Ich, back, ni, an, san, yield, and fall. So that was the second mission. For uke to learn to not deliver their body weight over and to instead be upright so they can be taken in any direction. Okay. This brings us to this piece of apparatus here. One of the challenges I've had with Sensei Bob is he doesn't have any elbows. He doesn't have any joints that move whatsoever. This rig here will allow me to show you something that a lot of people really struggle with, which is to turn an inside blend into an outside blend. So this is what I mean. If I'm working with my partner here, he will always be attacking me with his right hand, unless we're doing some very, very obscure Jiawaza. And if I'm doing Shomen Iriminage ich style, then I can go to the outside and throw. No worries. If I want to do ni, it's kind of tricky to do it this way because of how the attack is delivered. Sometimes it doesn't work, especially for something like a Yokomanuchi strike, which we've been looking at. So typically what you'll see for a knee technique is somebody will blend to the inside and then they don't know how to get over there. For anything that requires a kotegeshi, Shomen Iriminage, even things like a shihanagi sometimes, getting to the outside once you've gone to the inside really blows people's minds. But it's really simple. And it actually is, it's really nice to see when people are doing it well. So that's what this really is for. So at home, this can be your partner's hand, makes it easy, or after the video, just set yourself up something like this, a broom handle, use your belt, tie it to a chair, basically as long as you've got something that looks like this, you're in the ballpark, okay? So I'm going to point it this way so you can see it from the angle. So I've gone out of the way, I'm on the inside of the strike. I want to be over here. This is in my way. So my block, wherever it is going to first lift it. I then move underneath and bring it back down again. And it is that simple, okay? So here, lift it out your way. Step forwards and pivot. And now you're on the other side, ready to do any technique that you want to from the outside, okay? So, and if you want to, you can drill this both directions. So you can go out, inside, to outside, to inside, to outside, just to keep it going. But But again, I'm running out of time, so we're not going to do that. All we do for a few minutes with me is just get this cemented. If you can make this muscle memory, you won't have to think about it when you're doing your Gyowaza. Okay? Which is really important, because Gyowaza should eventually feel like walking in terms of movements. It should just feel natural. So here, lift it out of the way, and switch sides. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you, okay? So here, forwards, and pivot, and swap it back down, okay? The reason I'm bringing it back to neutral is because then it's an easier frame of reference to find other techniques. You don't need to if you know what you're doing. I could sort of raise it up here, and then immediately go around to the neck and be bringing them across. But we'll get to that when we've got Uke who can actually help you understand what's going on. So lift and underneath. Okay, how are we doing for time? Okay, a few minutes. All right. So that's how you go from the outside, from the inside to the outside. Now we'll have a look at the footwork for the rest of the technique. Time to sort of show you piece by piece, so do copy every stage that I'm doing, okay? Don't assume that I'll be able to repeat it a second time or a third or whatever. So start right foot forwards. We're going to get out of the way. Now we're going to do it just practice. You're going to lift the hand out of the way, step and pivot. From here, we're going to keep pivoting to bring them around. The arm comes up, we step forwards and throw. If that feels a bit too abstract, yeah, it's going to be weird. Again, right foot forwards. Pivot to the inside. The punch is here, so we're going to lift it out of the way, and we're going to change sides and over pivot. As they're passing us, the hand comes up the chest, and we throw, hitting that zanshin. Okay, again, nice and close this time. Pivot to the inside, lift their hand up, swap sides, keep pivoting. As they pass in front of us, this hand comes up, collar, forwards, and down. Remembering to not go off the side, keep it in front of you. Okay, that's time, I'm afraid. So, Shomen Iriminage. 2 main points I'm going to take away. Stay. Do not clothesline your partner. The throw must be executed within this arc in front of us. Just wider than shoulders, okay? Once you start to go too wide, you have lost any strength, kami-based strength that you might be able to use, therefore body weight, and all you've got is arm power. If you're like me, you're not blessed with much arm power, you need that center line, okay? And it doesn't make a difference if you're strong enough. Always train assuming that there will be somebody stronger than you, which means that you've got to get the technique right anyway, okay? There's no safe area to hide it. The second point, Uke, don't attack leaning forwards. It means that Shite can only clothesline you, and they will, because people want their techniques to work. Even if they're not trying to hurt you, it's going to happen because you are offering your neck as the easy target, okay? Attack with a neutral upright posture, and then if they take you backwards, you can go backwards. If they take you forwards, then you can go forwards, but never make the assumption. And if you're scared of the fall, tell them. Don't fight it, tell them, and then they can look after you, okay? And finally, blending inside to outside, that's a really useful skill to learn for several different Gyowaza techniques, whether it's Shomen Iriminage, Kozugeshi, versions of Shiokazushi. There's loads of stuff that you can only do from the outside that works really well, but get that blend sorted and all of them will really click for you, okay? So if you want to, build a rig like I did. If you've got somebody who's willing to train with you, then just use their arm. All they need to do is just hold their hand out like this, and then you can do stuff to it. You know, they don't need to know any Aikido to be a good Uke. So, thank you very much. Well done, and I hope you kept up. Os.